Hello and welcome back. I'm Yasmin Vorajee from Tiny Time Big Results, where I help solopreneurs, coaches, consultants, experts, service providers to run a profitable 20-hour week business. And one of the ways I do that is by helping you to charge a premium so you can work fewer hours. Now, in this series of Become a Premium Client Magnet, I've been talking to you about the different things that you need to have in place in order to attract those premium clients without you pushing, without you hustling, because nobody's got time for that, right? So in this video, what I want to talk about is something that's really important, and it's about how you run your calendar instead of it running you, right? Because when you're a premium provider, right, there's an energy around that. Would you agree? I think so, right? Because not only are you charging a premium, which for me, and I'm going to stress this again, this is not just about saying, oh, I'm so expensive, and adding a zero to what you currently charge, because we always provide massive value. We always work in the highest of integrity. So this is not about ego. This is not about like, ooh, look at me. This is not about any of that, right? But when you are a premium provider, that demands a certain standard from you. It demands a certain standard from your dream clients. Like they are ready, committed, wanting to do the work, right? And this is what makes premium like so desirable, because not only are you stepping up, they're stepping up. You get to do amazing work, you get to do your deepest transformations, and you get paid well. Like for me, as far as I'm concerned, it's a win-win, right? And it's been a beautiful way for me to be able to continue to grow a business whilst having children and pregnancy and babies and all that kind of stuff. Like my kids are now 15, 12 and 9. So I've been doing this for a long time, and really and truly premium has been one of the mainstays of my strategy, because it enabled me, to do like when I was having the babies, when they were very little, and now they're all in school, but it still just means that I get to work 3 to 4 hours a day. So this video is all about how you run your calendar, right? How you create a spacious calendar. Like, I've got to be honest with you. Like sometimes when I look at my calendar and like there's nothing in it, I just go, it just gives me such a sense of freedom, because that's how I've built it, right? And then I look at my calendar and I've got all my client calls booked in. I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. I can't wait. Because in human design, I'm a generator. It's a slightly different story. I'll talk about that another time. But so I love to respond, right? So I love doing the work with my clients, but I also love the spaciousness that my business has created for me. Well, let me put it another way, the spaciousness that I have created for myself in the way that I run my business. So this kind of touches on a couple of different things. Firstly, from an energetic perspective, right? Because as I think you probably know, we all, kind of wear the badge of busy. It's like, oh, you must be so busy. Oh my God, I'm so busy. I haven't even eaten today. Oh my God, and it's like this competition to see who is the busiest, right? Anytime someone says to me like, oh, you've got 3 kids and you're running a business, and, they're like, you must be so busy. And I'm like, well, as busy as I want to be, because I still allow time for, relaxing with the kids. We watch TV, I have a little nap, I cook dinner. And that for me is I love cooking dinner. So there are pockets of my day which feel really spacious, right? So it's about making sure, or it's about taking on that attitude that it's not about being busy, it's about being productive and spending my time in a meaningful manner, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is thinking about, what boundaries do you place in your calendar? Like for me, ideally, I don't do calls on a Monday and a Friday. It's not to say that I'm inflexible, and I will absolutely to accommodate clients and different things like that. But ideally for me, Monday is a day of like kind of just doing some planning and kind of doing my deep thinking work. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays when I'll do my client calls, I'll run my free trainings or whatever stuff's going on. And then Friday is a great day for reflection and a chance for me just to kind of catch my breath and, all of that kind of stuff. So for me, boundaries are really important, because I want to think about how I'm working in the business, right? And, how I want to work. Because I was reading a report recently about how This one particular company, they were just not doing great. And what was happening was every morning they were all brought into all of these meetings, right? And the problem is that that is probably the most productive time that you're going to get out of your people. So in this instance, it's just me. And I know that I can be really productive when I just get straight into it. If I'm like kind of in meetings or doing other things, then everything just gets pushed, right? So this particular organization, they scrapped all of that and they said, right, we're not going to do any meetings in the morning. We do them in the afternoon. And their productivity absolutely shot up because there were no distractions for their people, for their team. And so they were able to do their best work. And so when you think about what that means for you, for me, I call it aligned operations, right? So you're thinking about how you want to work. You're thinking about how you want to show up in your business, that premium standard. And you're thinking about your energy levels, because let's face it, as women as well, we don't have a 24-hour cycle. We have a 28-day cycle. So if you're taking your productivity advice from a guy who has a 24-hour cycle and you're thinking, why is it not working for me? That's because women work differently, right? So it's mad that I feel like I've only discovered this, as I'm going into perimenopause and menopause, but my daughter's going to be like the most well-informed child ever about cycles and energy levels and, what the last, tell me if I'm wrong, comment below if you can resonate with this, right? The days before my period, I would want to burn everything down. I would want to burn the whole business down. I'd be like, it's not working and I hate it and blah, 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 right? And then I realized it's just my luteal phase, right? It's a hormonal issue. There was nothing actually wrong with the business. But what would happen was I'd go into like this spiral of doubt and like, oh my God, this is not working, or whatever it might be. And then I went, oh, now I have this like great sense of acceptance. If things aren't working, then I will always fix them. But there's also a pattern there. That's going to happen every month. So I just kind of go, it's my luteal phase. It's fine. Just ride the wave, right? So this is about really honoring your energy. It's not about time management. When I first started doing Tiny Time Big Results all those years ago, it was very much about productivity. It was all about time management. And then I realized that actually that is it's symptoms of the problem, right? For me, it is very much about how your business is structured, what your business model looks like. Does it allow you to profit? Or if you're only working a few hours a day like I am, when you get that bit right, the other bits fall into place as well. So it is about thinking about how you manage the time that you have, but really about honoring your energy levels. There's some days, especially if I've had a full-on weekend, like Monday morning, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do my deep thinking, and all I want to do is sleep because I feel like I haven't stopped. And so Monday morning, when everyone's back to work and school, I feel like, okay, I might just have a little snooze because I really need it. And that's the key thing. It's really listening to your body. Like, I want a business that feels like it honors me, my genius, my energy, my time. I really feel like that's what we should be working towards. It's not about endless growth. It's about what feels really good, what feels aligned. And then, do you know what? What happens is you're in a flow state when you're in that space, right? So actually, like paradoxically, it really helps you to actually get so much more done. It feels lighter and your results will actually be exponentially better. You will actually enjoy the way that you're getting your results because you have aligned the way you operate in your business. And this is really important because, all of that, what that does is it's changing and shifting how you show up. You are stepping into that premium standard of you as that service provider, as that coach, as that consultant, and your ideal clients will feel it and they will be magnetized to it. And that is how you become a premium client magnet, by aligning your operations. So you're honoring your time, your energy, your body, your wisdom. This is truly the best way to build a business, in my opinion. All right, my lovely, I hope you've enjoyed this, and then tune in for the next episode of this series. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.